Hi, it's me in all my frazzle-haired, unmakeup glory. I thought that an easy way to get back into maybe filming some things for this YouTube channel would be to film just a chill get ready with me video. So I'm going to be putting some makeup on and rambling about some things. It's kind of a cheats get ready with me because all I'm actually getting ready for is filming more videos, but it'll do. So yeah, I hope you enjoy chilling with me while I put some stuff on my face and say some words into your face. So the main thing that I wanted to try and ramble about today while I am half-heartedly getting makeup onto my face is just some of the struggles that I've had with disappearing and reappearing from YouTube and some of the reasons why that might or might not be. I'm going to be holding a mirror over here because I don't have a mirror in this room, and the other option is for me to stare at myself in the camera, which also works. There we go, that'll do. Look at my beautiful dirty makeup palette. Boop, boop, boop. I don't normally do my whole face at once, but apparently that's what we're doing today. I was gonna write some notes down to help guide myself here. Hey, you! No. Whatever that is, no. Yeah, you heard me. I was gonna write myself some notes to guide myself through this talk, but I never actually ended up doing that. So this is gonna be a very rambly one. The biggest and main reason why I have at least in the last year, disappeared from YouTube and struggled to make many videos is because of the, the pandemonium that's happening at the moment. And I think that, that's something that all of us have struggled with in our own ways. Can you stop being restless? You were literally napping before. Milo, get out of there. Stop it. Personally, my life hasn't been too awful because of it. I have actually been lucky enough to have a job and get to work full-time throughout all of this, which I'm extremely grateful for. But that being said, I've also lived in Melbourne, which has had a monumental number of lockdowns, and in fact we're in a lockdown again now. We managed to go a few months. Dude! Stop! Stop it! You were literally sleeping, and now you're like, what if I cause havoc on the world? Hey? What? I have nothing to give you yet. Go chill and stop destroying my bedroom. This is really hard to do when there's a dog literally just ripping shit apart in your room behind you. But like I said, I've had a job, which has been really good, but I've also been in lockdown a lot, which is not as good. And even though I've been working from home through lockdown, I've been working from home since March last year, which is now over a year ago, and having actual work has been lovely, but doing it from home and not being able to see people and all of that stuff has been less lovely. And basically just over time I have struggled more and more with the fact that I can't go out and do a lot of the things that are important to me. And the big thing that I know I've already mentioned in a previous video some point last year when I did actually get back to life and film is that for a lot of our lockdown it's been really, really restrictive. Like exercise hours have been restricted. We haven't been able to exercise for more than 1 or 2 hours a day, depending on which stage of lockdown we've been in. And also basically working full time to a point where the hours in which I can exercise were basically like after dark or when it was getting dark, which meant that I was less keen on exercising, especially during winter when the hours are shorter. I didn't really exercise a lot because the times when I could exercise weren't great options for me, and a lot of my exercise came from just getting to and from work using trams or bicycles or walking or anything like that, which I haven't been able to do. So I ended up, putting on a lot of weight, and my whole appearance and my sort of vision of myself has changed a lot over the last year as well, which has been a process to deal with. I have pretty much been the same size, shape, weight, height since I hit adulthood somewhere in high school, like over a decade. I've never fluctuated in my weight, and now in 1 year I have put on quite a lot of weight. And maybe you can't tell, but I sure can, especially when looking at more than just my face. And I haven't put on enough weight to be obese or even necessarily unhealthy, but it does mean that when I see photos of myself, I don't think I look like me. And that obviously translates to videos as well. Like, I don't love the look of myself when I see myself in photos and videos. I am very half-heartedly putting this makeup on, and you are wrecking my fairy lights again. Bruh, please. Oi, you're not even listening to me. You're a menace, an actual menace. And I guess going hand in hand with that is a few other lack of self-esteem issues. I worked really hard to get my self-esteem up as an adult, and I actually got myself to a place where I was really proud of myself and the way that I felt about myself. I was really happy with me and who I am, both inside and out, and pretty much all of that has gone out the window now. I also, my hair has got to a stage where it was really, really unhealthy, and I chopped it all off, which is why I have short hair now. And I guess there was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance in that I didn't necessarily want to do that. I just knew that it was something that I needed to do because my hair was that bad. Like, it was really not easy to deal with. Like, it was just broken bits of hair all the way through, and all of this comes from anxiety and basically picking at my head. And I was starting to like lose my hairline, basically, like losing hair from the front of my head, which you can kind of see there's lots of little bits there, which is just broken bits of hair from me scratching at my head. So I chopped it all off, and because I did that more as a necessity rather than a desire, basically I'm stuck in a position where I don't like my hair. And when I see that in the mirror or in photos or in videos as well, that makes me feel pretty uncomfortable because I don't think I look like me with short hair. I've become very used to myself having long hair. That's just how I see myself, is I guess the person that you've seen in videos before. That's a big part of apparently my self-identification, is knowing that I have like the same hairstyle that I've had for years, decades. And now I don't have that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing again, but it does kind of just bring some, I guess, confusion about my view of myself, and it kind of creates a bit of dysmorphia when it comes to looking at myself and not thinking that I look like me. We're at that beautiful stage of in-between makeup where everything looks like a mess and I look like a panda eyes rather than anything nice. We'll see how we go with that. So yeah, bunches of self-esteem issues, I guess, coming from just a sense of not really feeling connected with my body the way that it is now. From my weight to my face to my hair, just a lot of it. And hopefully that'll change over time. But I guess the crux of it is that it is very uncomfortable to both film and edit videos, because when I see myself in footage, I don't think I'm editing a video of me, which is pretty uncomfortable. And on top of that, just, you know, pandemics are hard. Like I said, haven't been able to leave the house. That does bring a certain sense of just exhaustion and feeling really bummed, I guess. Puts most people in a place of depression, and people with mental health issues in, you know, very dire situations of depression and stress and anxiety and things like that. So there's a bit of that going on as well. There's been some life stuff happening as well. You've already seen the little mischief running around eating my fairy lights in the background. That's my new puppy, who isn't a puppy anymore. I got him in November last year, which is about the time when I stopped filming the last time, because I was doing okay for October and then I stopped filming, and the reason for that is that this little creature came along. I love him very dearly, but he is a very high energy dog, and it has taken a lot of adjustment to get used to having him in my life and balancing my care for him with my care for myself and my own hobbies and interests as well. Plus, it's just taken a lot of growing up and maturing on his end. He was an extremely high energy puppy. Now he's a moderately high energy adolescent, I guess, and he's slowly getting older and calmer, but it's taken a bit of work to get there. That's just, you know, it's been tiring. It's been very tiring. And we've had some issues as well with Milo in the background, who is now no longer visible in the background because he's finally gone back to sleep or back to just chilling. He's also had a few injuries. He's had some issues with joints because he's a German Shepherd cross Labrador, which is not a good combo for joints. So we've had like quite a few periods over the last few months where he's had to be on bed rest for a week and then on like limited walks and limited playtime for like a week after that, which means that he just like gradually, like a coiled spring, just kind of like gets more and more highly wound and ready to basically explode with all of his pent up energy. Which then means that I have to deal with that as well, and that's just, you know, it's been tiring and stressful, and it's brought up some behavioural issues and things as well. That means that I have to deal with them and put a lot more effort into helping him basically rehabilitate into being able to go for normal walks again, which takes time and effort, and that means less time for other hobbies like reading and filming about reading. I haven't blended much of this well. There is that, but I guess I'll go with this. I'll go with my usual look, because why would you branch out when you can do the same thing every day? Cough, lockdown, cough. That's all the like external stuff, I guess, that's been like affecting my sense of connection with BookTube. That's basically just like a brain dump of everything that's happened over the last year. But there's more to it than that, I guess. And the other part, or part of the initial reason why I stopped filming BookTube videos in the first place, which was a few years ago now, was, and I'm going to say this with a grain of salt, that I know that it's not about the numbers and it's not about the engagement deep down and logically, but we all know that emotionally sometimes it's really hard to connect with what we logically are aware of. So keep that in mind when I say the next part, but I was feeling really disappointed in the amount of effort that I put into videos that I posted and the amount of appreciation that they were getting. I had reached a point where I was spending weeks, months planning videos, and then like genuinely sometimes a full week. Oh my god, bruh. Dude, chill. And then sometimes like a full week worth of days editing videos as well. I'm putting a lot of effort into like the effects that I did for videos and the video editing and that stuff that I do really enjoy. So that part was fine because it was like I was doing it because I like doing that kind of editing. But I put all that effort in, and then those videos would effectively lose me subscribers and do worse than videos that I posted when I first started BookTube, when I was just filming on my iPhone and whacking it up with no editing at all. And I guess that goes to show that there is more to the things that influence your engagement are more than just how polished your videos are. But it was just really disheartening to have these video ideas that I was so excited about and put so much effort into, and then see them, like, people actually leave my channel because of them. And I know that people are going to leave my channel because of this, because you just seem to hit a certain point where everything you do loses you more subscribers than it gains you subscribers. And like I said before I even started talking about this section, I know that it's not about the subscribers, which is why I'm still here trying to film videos, is because I care about more than the subscribers when it comes to making these videos and sharing these videos on my channel. But it still bums me out, and it bummed me out enough that I basically stepped away from BookTube for a while, a few years ago now, and have just essentially ever since then really struggled to come back, because every time I do, I hit the same wall of getting really excited about video ideas, putting a lot of effort into them, and then seeing them basically flop time and time again. And nowadays I'm battling more than what I would have been battling at the time, because algorithms, and if you don't post regularly then you're never going to do as well and all of that stuff, and that's also fine. But yeah, it's a hard thing to separate yourself from that emotion of disappointment and remind yourself of the other reasons why you're doing it. You, what do you want from me? What you want? What you want? Papa. Hey, what's going on? Look at your little face in the camera. Hey, yeah. Oh, the people can see you. Oh, baby. Oh, you're being a big sook now, and you were so chill before. Is it because you can hear me talking and you think I shouldn't be talking to anyone but you? Is that what's going on? A little bit, eh? You're like, Mama, the only attention you're allowed to give is to me. But I don't want to give attention to other things as well. It's just how it be sometimes. Yeah, so that's another thing. And that's less about me struggling now and more about why I sort of started struggling to begin with, which was a long time ago, and it's obviously really hit me hard. And then the other thing, I guess, there's a couple more things. The other one is that every time I come back nowadays, I'm reminded about the fact that a lot of my closest friends on BookTube aren't really here anymore. I had a really strong sense of community that last time I was really active on BookTube. I had some friends that had started at the same time as me. You know, we had book clubs together and things, but we also had chats on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and we actually talked to each other constantly. And I say this quite a bit, but like, I was close enough to some of these friends that they actually started a GoFundMe to help me afford a computer when I lost my old job, because I'd never had a laptop of my own, and they basically helped raise money for me to be able to buy one so that I could keep booktubing after I lost access to my work laptop. So yeah, and I still talk to those friends occasionally, but like, basically time moves and they've moved on to other things, different hobbies, different communities, and I come back to BookTube and it just kind of adds to the feeling of disconnect from the community, I guess. You make videos, you don't get engagement, you lose subscribers, you don't even have like close friends that you can talk to on it or anything like that. So you start to feel a bit lonely, which is the opposite of the reason why you do BookTube. Sorry, this is really hard to do and talk at the same time, and I'm basically like shoving my face completely out of the frame while I try and do eyeliner on myself. So yeah, there's a bit of that too. And I'm starting to make some new friends, and I'm starting to reconnect with some of the old friends that I had the first time that I was properly on BookTube. And you know, they're there and they're lovely and I appreciate them. But I still don't feel that sense of closeness that I did with some of my friends from the first time. And that was a part that was really important to me when it came to BookTube, and a lot of the reason why I kept going for as long as I did. And that's a feeling that I'm really trying to get back and wanting to get back, and yeah, struggling to do. So I need to brighten this up a bit. Feels like I might. Let's try that. So that's another thing. The final thing, which is gonna be really awkward to say, is that a few people that I know here in Australia in real life have now found out about my channel, which I was never particularly public about. Like, I did, obviously, it wasn't impossible for people to find my Instagram account because I think it was still linked to my Facebook, so people would find it that way. And then I would obviously be sharing about videos on that Instagram and things. Like, it was there, it existed, it wasn't hidden. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret, but I never really told people about it or cared for people to find out about it. And then people did. And a lot of people are quite lovely about it, and they just kind of mention it in passing. They're like, oh, I really like your photos, or I saw that you make videos, that's really cool, or something like that. And then there are some friends that basically talk to me about it within minutes of me uploading a video, and it's a very lovely and supportive thing, but it also for some reason just makes me feel really awkward. Like, I find it really uncomfortable to like post a video and have someone basically like come up to me and be like, your video was in my feed and I watched it and you did this, and I'm like, what happens on YouTube stays on YouTube. I don't want it coming to me in real life and having it talked into my face in real life. So that kind of made me feel really uncomfortable, and that happened a few times where I posted videos, and eventually I was kind of like, I'm not dealing with this feeling very well. I'm basically going to avoid posting videos because I don't want to deal with that uncomfortable feeling. I need to fix up my neck. Also, how fun is this? And I feel really bad about that because it comes from a place of love and support and hopefully excitement about what I'm doing, or if not excitement about what I'm doing, then at least wanting to, you know, support a friend that they care about. But it's just, yeah, it's just a weird, uncomfortable feeling. And I guess I'm kind of have the opinion that if you want to support someone doing something creative or doing something on any social media platform, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, support them on that platform, because there's probably a reason why they're doing it on that platform, and seeing your comment or, you know, something like that on their photo or video helps them to achieve what they want on that platform, or, you know, to achieve whatever it is that is the reason why they're posting it on that platform, rather than just talking to you about it in person, or at least do both, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's a weird opinion, maybe people will just say that I'm being ungrateful, but I guess I'm just trying to say that there's a reason why I do this on YouTube instead of just like sitting my friends down and being like, hey, I read a book, let's talk about it. I don't know. Maybe that's not how I feel at all. That's just the words that came out of my mouth while I'm half-heartedly trying to put makeup on my face at the same time. Okay, I've done a very minimal eye makeup look. Let's put some colour back into my face and call it a day. I think that's it. I don't know. I feel weird still. There's a lot of stuff going on, and there's still a lot of, oh, that was a bit dark, but it's on my face now, so I don't have a choice. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I keep coming back and trying to make more videos because I feel like there's something missing in my life when I don't, because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the sense of community that I had when I was most active on BookTube, and all I want is to try and get that back. And I guess the reason why I keep sort of oscillating between being here and not being here is that I come back because I feel that emptiness and I feel that something missing, and I want to try and find it again, and then I end up with a lot of emotional baggage when I come back, and basically you know, I'm reminded of all the things that don't make me feel that way, or things that I've lost, or basically kind of reminded that I feel like I've lost that sense of community on BookTube right now, and I feel like I don't belong here as much, and that bums me out. So I leave, and then I miss it, and I come back, and we've just continued that grand journey for a couple of years now. But here I am. I have come back again. I'm gonna keep trying. Take it slowly and just see how we go. And with that in mind, I'm basically done with my face. The only thing I'm going to do is put some lip colour on and call it a day. So yeah, thank you for listening to what is probably quite a depressing ramble. And being here with me while I offload all of my thoughts. Basically, I'm still here, I'm still trying, and I'm trying to work myself up to filming more while being gentle on myself and all of the things that I'm feeling. But I'm gonna keep trying to find that balance and to keep filming videos and doing the things that I love. So I'll see you for another video when I can. And until then, as always, stay classic.
The weather is frightening, the thunder and lightning seem to be having their way. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a lovely day.